Final test, an extra challenge of sorts. She quickly enchants him with a spell and informs him that his only task is to stay conscious. Whatever she did feels like his brain is being split apart. It's actually sound magic she's using, a clear indication that she's a deviant. Despite the excruciating pain, Arthur braves through the test. When it's over, the woman happily announces that he's passed with flying colors. Given the aptitude Arthur has shown in wind magic, she admits she's tempted to teach him personally. The father, on the other hand, is still confused. Since when did Arthur learn to use earth and wind magic as well? The mention of as well catches the lady off guard. What she understands, Arthur might even be able to use more elements. Shocked, Vincent quickly responds, explaining that Arthur used fire magic just yesterday and lightning magic as well. He brought him to the paved courtyard because the boy had burned down part of the lawn. The old hag finds herself utterly boggled when she learns that this little boy can control not only 2, but at least 3 elements, none of which are at a deviance level. Arthur, however, quickly corrects them, clarifying that he can actually use 4 elements. He makes sure to demonstrate by conjuring some water. The woman literally recoils in utter bewilderment, and Reynolds makes sure to support her. Seeing how strongly Cynthia has reacted, the little girl asks if her brother is strong. While her mother doesn't respond, Cynthia laughs softly and agrees that he is indeed very strong, and will be even stronger in the future. After everyone settles down, Arthur apologizes to his family for keeping his powers a secret from them. His chest tightens as he sees his mother so worried about him. Realizing that her son had been hiding something, she hopes that, from this point onward, there will be no more secrets. As much as Arthur wishes to promise her that, he knows he cannot. Once the apologies are done, Cynthia decides to have a private conversation with our boy. She encloses them both in a bubble that appears soundproof, ensuring no sound can get in or out. Now that they can't be overheard, the old lady assures him that he can speak freely. With no other choice, Arthur begins to explain. He reveals that he only showed her his abilities because there are 2 things she possesses that he needs, which are power and influence. He wants her to keep his family safe until he becomes strong enough to protect them himself. Not only will he attend her academy, but he will also consider her his benefactor. Cynthia Goodsky is quite moved, though not in the usual way. To see this brat have the audacity to demand something like this from her is almost laughable. Not even the king and queen of Sapan would dare propose such a one-sided deal. And yet, Arthur seems to think she'll bend to establish a relationship with a mere child. But my guy just smiles in response, fully aware of how much potential and value he holds compared to the rulers of Sapin. Although his part of the deal will have to wait until he actually attends her academy, he's confident in his position. You see, Arthur has made a promise to someone important, to live his life to the fullest, and he believes attending Xyrus Academy at a more normal age will help him honor that promise. Cynthia is once again a little rattled to hear this. To think that she will have to wait for 3 years until he joins unsettles her. She presses him to explain what he plans to do during this gap. Well, Arthur doesn't hesitate. He speaks his mind and reveals his plan to become an adventurer. Later, Arthur's parents take him aside for a private conversation, as they are absolutely against his idea. His mother is distraught the most and begins to berate him. After everything they've endured, after thinking he was dead for years, he now says he wants to put himself in danger again. It's a thought she simply cannot bear. The little girl also starts tearing up, unable to handle her mother's outburst. Reynolds steps up in order to calm her down and suggests that they at least hear Arthur out and listen to his reasoning. But his mother does not relent. She continues lashing out, questioning how he could even consider such a thing after everything they've been through to get to this point. Eventually, her emotions overwhelm her. Her thoughts spiral, clouded by worry and pain, until she can no longer discern what is right or wrong. It's then that Arthur speaks up. His voice is calm but resolute as he explains that he isn't planning on leaving anytime soon. In fact, he's looking forward to spending several months at home with everyone. He admits that while he's only just returned, spending over 3 years in the Elven Kingdom has left him feeling disconnected from Sapin and the rest of Dicathan. He wants to experience the same thrill and excitement his parents had when they were adventurers. It's not just about seeking danger, it's about truly living, understanding his world, and growing stronger in ways he can't within the safety of their home. His father acknowledges Arthur's point, understanding exactly what his son is talking about. He even admits that, as an awakened teenager, he himself had been eager to experience the adventurous life. However, he also recognizes that Alice's concerns are entirely valid. No matter how strong or prepared Arthur thinks he is, the life of an adventurer is both dangerous and unpredictable. Arthur then suggests having some sort of guard or supervisor accompany him on his journeys, but Alice remains unconvinced. That's when Reynolds startles his wife by approving Arthur's plan. She immediately turns on her husband, practically strangling him in frustration. She can't believe he would even consider such a thing, let alone agree to it. There's no way she's letting her son leave again, not after just getting him back. Things begin to settle down when Arthur clarifies that he isn't planning to be away for 3 full years. He explains that he intends to come back every few months, or even more frequently between missions. Even so, Alice remains skeptical and is not sure how to proceed with this. At that moment, Ellie approaches her brother with her eyes filled with tears. The thought of him leaving already is too much for her. Seeing his little sister crying causes Arthur to panic. He quickly clarifies to her that he'll be seeing her a lot and won't be gone for long stretches of time. Alice, however, is still unwilling to give her consent. She demands an answer. Why does he want to become an adventurer now? What drives him to take this path so soon after returning home? As far as she is concerned, it makes far more sense for her son to go to school before setting out as an adventurer. Arthur, however, reminds them that if he were to attend school now, he'd be quite a bit younger than the other students. He explains that he actually wants to fit in and make friends, but a significant age gap might make that harder. His worried mother quickly counters, suggesting that he doesn't have to go to school right away. Instead, she proposes helping him train herself, along with Reynolds. Well, Arthur is open to the idea, but he doesn't just want to train, he wants to fight and test the skills he's learned since coming to this world in real-world scenarios. He wants to experience an open environment where he can truly challenge himself is what he's looking for, though he does not say all this to their parents. The next morning arrives, and the entire family gathers at the dining table, joined by the Hellstay family. As they eat, the room is filled with lively banter and conversation. At one point, Arthur asks what plans everyone has for the day. Mrs. Hellstey responds that she and Alice need to run some errands around town to prepare for an upcoming event at the Hellstey auction house. She adds that they're taking Ellie and Lilia along, and Arthur is welcome to join them if he wants. Arthur, however, decides to stay behind today. Vincent then grabs everyone's attention and inquires if they've decided what to do about Arthur's plan. Alice then reveals that she has agreed to let him become an adventurer under certain conditions. The father outlines them as follows. First, Arthur will wait until after his birthday in 3 months. Second, he must have a guard with him at all times during his missions. And third, he will need to visit home at least once every 2 months. Beyond that, his father is confident that Arthur is smart enough to manage the rest on his own. Vincent acknowledges the rationality behind the decision, but raises an important question. Who will be Arthur's guard? From what he's seen so far, it seems highly unlikely that there's anyone capable of guarding Arthur effectively. Meanwhile, the little girl is having her own fun. She pretends to be a Sylvie, balancing 2 forks over her head to mimic the creature's horns. Her childish antics give Reynolds a sudden idea. With a wide grin, he announces that the twin horns will be returning from a dungeon expedition soon. He recently received a letter from the Adventurers Guild confirming that they'll be back in 2 months, and they could arrange for one of them to accompany Arthur as his guard. The idea is so solid that even Alice agrees right away. The mention of the twin horns immediately excites Arthur, as he's been eagerly waiting to reunite with them. After all, the twin horns were the group that had helped escort him back to his family years ago. It means he'll get to see all his old friends, Jasmine, Durden, Angela, Helen, and Adam, together again. He can hardly wait. Later, Arthur visits Vincent's office to discuss a certain matter. Meanwhile, the ladies are out on a shopping spree. During their outing, Ellie and Alina get into an argument. Since Alina is older than Ellie, Mrs. Hellstay doesn't appreciate her daughter teasing the younger girl like this, so she gives her a bonk on her head. But Alina snaps and angrily responds that all Ellie ever does is think about her brother. She finally lets out her frustration that has been bubbling over the past few days. She admits that she doesn't like how everyone is giving so much attention to Arthur. She's jealous that Arthur is already a mage stronger than most adults, while she herself hasn't even awakened yet. Deep down, she desperately wants to become a mage. Seeing the girl's distress, Alice steps forward to console her. She gently reminds Alina that